Wow, Greg, that was a pretty huge rip from that bong. We should be without Greg for a little bit.
Why do you keep on calling
We're
me
going to still
Greg?
continue to have the conversation about drugs.
Yeah.
Apologize for all the phone mishap and caller. You can... I know you're calling in. I can't get you on my
Yes, I'm
headphones.
just gonna stay over
I don't
here.
know what's going on.
Nah.
Greg, just stay put,
Lift it
okay?
right now.
And let's continue our
Okay.
conversation.
Conversation.
Hello?
You're listening to Quote Unquote.
Внимание! Говорит Москва! Говорит Москва! Заявление советского правительства. Граждане и гражданки Советского Союза. Сегодня, 22 июня, 4 часа утра, без объявления войны германские войска напали на нашу страну, атаковали наши границы.
First thing about recreational drugs, we're obviously talking about substances that are taken for pleasure, not for medical purposes. And they include all the obvious ones like stimulants, depressants and hallucinogenics.
Boys and girls, your attention, please. Presenting a new exciting radio program featuring the thrilling adventures of an amazing and incredible personality.
You know, this is the consumption of drugs. It seems to me cannot be construed as a medical problem. This idea of it as a disease is a fatuous notion to me. It's simple if you take it, if you argue it from a basic principle which many people and
He could be your child or the kid next door. As the president said in his address on Saturday, 44% of Americans know someone who has been addicted to prescription painkillers.
Hello?
It's simple if you take it, if you argue it from a basic principle which many people and I hold dear to is Mill's idea of the principle of non-interference in private behaviour. What the individual does is up to the individual. The state should not interfere in it. Very sound principle to which I strongly adhere. But you can't also ignore the fact that there's a cost to be paid for that.
Eyes open, you think about heroin. Nothing else. Nothing else. And any addict that's watching this will attest to that. And if you don't have money, you're thinking about how to get money to get heroin immediately.
Jason Amaral's hunt for heroin began at 7:30 in the morning on a brisk day in downtown Boston. He hopped a train to meet a friend who gave him a few pills of Klonopin, an anti-anxiety medication known to addicts to take the edge off the urge.
I'm about to do all four of these right now. And then shoot some heroin.
He searched for a bathroom where he could crush and snort his pills. He searched for a bathroom where he could crush and snort his pills.
We're in such a high drug area, they don't let people use the public
Seriously,
bathrooms.
Reverend.
So,
What is
Jason
this
went for the one
monstrosity
bar,
that you
and
have
it was
us listening
always
to?
open to the public.
Excuse me, where's the entrance to City Hall?
Reverend, what are you doing?
Once inside City Hall,
I hope they don't check my bag.
he headed for a basement bathroom. The money is on sent by West
Tarzan.
Virginia to use.
That's cool.
Mission.
Do you know where your cat
Around
beast
noon,
is?
We met Jason on the street after he
We're gonna have a catfish party tonight. We're gonna have a catfish party. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about her book, which is a fantastic read. I skimmed it through once, and then I read it again just to make sure that I had the facts that I wanted to share with you and Nancy when we discussed it. It's called AIDS, Opium, Diamonds, and Empire. She goes into a lot of stuff about the background of this crime gang, especially the East India Company that was involved in opium smuggling and dealing in India and in China, the Sassoon family.
Hello?
This is the Reverend. I wouldn't say that we are having technical difficulties, more along the lines that the drugs have affected the sound equipment.
The sound equipment.
Hello?
I'll say that they've affected the sound
As we
equipment.
continue, we'll get more in depth with the conversation.
Where's my bong?
And it looks and sounds like Greg is back. Welcome back, Greg.
It's good to be back. I drifted to Cloud 7. I'm trying to get back to Cloud 9.
You drifted in that amount of time?
I sure have, man. And what have you will? Or will you have? You, what have you? You have you will have.
All right, well, let's get back into it. Whatever getting into it is, whatever we're doing here, you're listening to Quote Unquote.
Finding a phone in a car isn't that unusual anymore, except when it leaves the car, for greener pastures, the high seas, or a leisurely lunch. Radio Shack keeps you in constant communication with their affordable, transportable cellular telephone.
Hello? Oh, yes, he's right here. It's for you.
Yes, I heard about the merger. Buy 100 shares.
The affordable, transportable cellular telephone, only at Radio Shack.
More than a third of American private employers have drug testing policies for their workers in accordance with the Federal Drug-Free Workplace Act. But times have changed since that law was passed 25 years ago. 23 states have now legalized medicinal marijuana, and voters in Colorado and Washington state have legalized recreational pot as well.
So how do employers balance zero tolerance with these more lenient laws? We're joined by CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman. Ricky, good morning.
Good morning.
Tolerance, balance. This is a real dilemma, isn't it, for employers? I mean, you've got federal legislation which says it's illegal. States are starting to legalize it. What does an employer do here?
Well, that is the ultimate question, because we're really dealing with use of marijuana outside the workplace.
Legalize it.
Cocaine, marijuana.
Right. What does an employer do here?
Everyone agrees that you're not going to be able to use drugs,
right,
nor drink alcohol,
right,
while you're at work.
For employers, I mean, you've got federal legislation.
So outside the workplace, what you do,
legalize it.
The workplace can have zero tolerance, and just say, I'm sorry, I don't care if you did it Saturday or Monday or Tuesday. When you come to work on Friday, you have to be drug-free. So, practically qualified.
What does an employer do here? Legalize it.
What should an employer do? Well, employers should do exactly the following. Number one, take marijuana. Number two, take marijuana, take OxyContin. You could have alcohol. You could even have morphine, for heaven's sake. Also, take OxyContin. Let them know what their risks are, that if they're going to take marijuana, take OxyContin. Recreationally where it's legal, and certainly if they're going to take medical marijuana legally, slack off on drug testing, because then you're in trouble.
You said something that I think is interesting. You said they have to be drug-free when they enter the workplace. And I think one of the issues that keeps boiling over is,
I'm sorry,
it's not like a breathalyzer. These tests are saliva and they're urine, so it's something you could have done on the weekend.
I'm sorry.
Are you really impaired at work?
Well, impairment is the big issue, because of course we can't measure impairment.
It's our saliva and their urines.
I mean, we could observe it. If you see someone coming into work who is impaired by drugs or alcohol, you know.
Got federal legislation.
But you don't know about what drugs or alcohol they've taken. So why is medical marijuana or recreational marijuana the problem? Well, you could take OxyContin, you know. You could have alcohol, you know. You could even have morphine, for heaven's sake, you know. And it might be out of your system, you know.
Boiling over.
You smoke marijuana or ingest marijuana, THC, the active ingredient in it, might be in your system
25 years.
This is a problem. You smoke marijuana or ingest marijuana, the active. So if you start firing people, you also maybe start firing people who are well qualified. But you don't know.
Tolerance? Right. It's a very interesting dilemma that employers have got to deal with. Ricky Kleeman, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.